Hello, hola, bonjour, guten tag, salve, konnichiwa, mohore. Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with KC. I do hope that you have enjoyed all our recent videos in our Diversity in the Workplace series. What is diversity? Diversity encompasses the range of similarities and differences each individual brings to the workplace, including, but not limited to, national origin, language, race, color, disability, ethnicity, gender, age, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, socioeconomic status, veteran status, and family structures. Today, we will dive deeper on this very important topic, diversity in the workplace. We are so pleased to have a special guest by the name of Andrew. Andrew was born and raised in Guyana, but has since migrated to the United States of America. Andrew has experienced some challenges as it relates to diversity and would like to share his experience with us. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here today.
Very pleased to be here.
Tell us, how long have you been living in the United States?
I moved to the US in early 2000s. Yeah, I've been here ever since.
Okay. And why? Why leave Guyana? Why leave your country of birth?
I was looking for something different, looking for betterment, looking for changes, looking for improvement and development in my personal life. And I thought, in the same token, I can do something for my family as well. So I came here and been here ever since.
Understood. In search of a better life.
Yes.
Andrew, tell us, based on your experience, what are some benefits of living in the United States of America versus back home in Guyana?
I hope I don't come across as some kind of snub or whatever.
No, tell us.
You know what, man? We all want to do better in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
We start off where we start off at, whether it's way up here or here, wherever. For me, I'm from humble beginnings.
Okay.
And much love to my parents. My late dad worked very hard in his entire life. My mom, who just had her 76th birthday 2 days ago. Love you, Mom.
Happy birthday.
And so, well, we all want to do better. We want better for ourselves. We want better for our family, our future families. And so, we're looking for, we look for that thing wherever it is. People say you come to America, you chase an American dream, $1 million, big house, and all. No, it's not all about that. We want to be better off than we were before.
Yes.
It might be increments of, this improvement in this area, better education, and so on and so forth. And so for me, it was like, hey, you know what? I can do something else. I started off in Guyana working in the police force, my first job.
You were a police?
I was a policeman.
Okay, yeah. Officer. All right.
But yes, and so I saw the opportunity to do something different.
And you
moved to the US. I took the opportunity and
wonderful.
Moved to the US, and here I am.
Thank you, Andrew. What would you say to someone back home in Guyana who is considering migrating to the United States of America?
First of all, I would say have an open mind. Be prepared to experience some things that you haven't experienced yet. The US is a very sophisticated culture, but it's also simple in the same token.
Yes.
But with a lot more challenges.
Yes.
as hard as you might work back in Guyana, you come here and there might be a whole lot more for you to do. You know, the picture that we get when we're back there is, you know, they show us these beautiful buildings and the fancy luxury cars and all this and that. And that stuff is for TV and movie. That's not the best of America.
That's right.
You come here, you will people will stretch their hands to you and ask you for $1. People will stretch their hands to you and ask for a quarter.
Yes.
I've given a lot of people quarters and dollars here in the streets of the United States.
Yes.
So be prepared. Humble yourself. I'll say that first and foremost.
Okay.
A lot of us from Guyana and that part of the world, and by that I mean the West Indies, do not tell people what it's really like. We go back home, we wear a nice shirt and pants with a few dollars in our pocket. US currency is higher, the exchange rate, so we're able to party for a couple of weeks, give a friend a few dollars, and give them the impression that, you know what, we live in some big life here in the US. And people come here and they make it, don't get me wrong. But
very interesting.
Be prepared to rub some serious elbow grease.
Yes.
You have to work for everything you can get here.
That's right.
You know, and nothing is given. Nothing will be given to you. You have to work for what you want.
So it's not all what you see on the television.
Now it is serious commitment to life, serious commitment to a certain culture. You have to create your own subculture. But how will I exist here? Who am I? What do I have? What do I bring to the table? What education? What skill set?
Yes.
And how do I utilize that? What more do I add to it? You know, so you have to be honest with yourself.
Interesting. Yes.
You have to be honest with yourself. But like I said, humble yourself. Be prepared to make some adjustments, some serious adjustments. I know people from back home who have jobs like bank managers and stuff like that, and they say, you know what, I will never come. I'll go visit, but I will never stay because I may not have this kind of job in the US. Qualification, competitive market, and so on. I may not get that job, so what will I do?
Yes.
I don't want to go work at some supermarket or some fast food place and so on, or some hotel.
It's very different.
And then the other thing I would say is swallow your pride a little bit. You know, don't be so uppity. Like all that you have there is really worth little here. Or it might be worth a little here. You may have a whole lot and it's worth a whole lot anywhere in the world.
Yes.
But you may have a whole lot back there and it's worth, as far as value, is worth a little here. You know, it's like if I have $10,000 and you have $1 million, you know, we kind of have the same amount of money when you go into the exchange rate.
Yes.
So it's like,
yes.
So it's one of those deals. And
very good advice.
Yeah.
Wow. Andrew, share with us 1 or 2 good memorable experiences you have had as it relates to diversity in the workplace.
I'm sure there are quite a few. Let me see any specific one.
Yes.
So I've always been curious about my culture.
Okay.
African culture, Black culture.
Okay.
And as a result of being here in the US and working in different places and stuff, I've had the opportunity to meet people from Kenya. I believe Kenya is like the soul of Africa. So I've met Kenyans, Ethiopians, Moroccans, Ghanaians,
wow,
Tanzanians, Ugandans, and I had a beautiful relationship with a girl from Sudan.
Okay, all right.
And so, yeah, I've met people from all walks of life, being able to learn different languages to a certain extent, experience different food cultures.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I have quite a few friends from different places in Africa and elsewhere. But I feel like I know Africa to a certain extent, and that means a lot to me.
Wonderful.
It means a lot to me.
So learning and embracing these different cultures from different people that you have met from all over the world in itself is a memorable experience for you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I didn't have to go to Africa. Africa came to me.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
yes.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Andrew, tell us, have you ever been discriminated against because of your race or your color?
Yes, I have, and a few times actually. And but the tough thing about being discriminated against is when the discrimination is coming from your own people.
Yes.
It's like people think, well, oh, it has to come from someone else. No.
I never understood that.
When another black man look at you or a black woman, is and call you that N word, for example, it's like they think like they expect you to be okay with it. It's like, what are you doing? Why? Why use that word? You get offended when people from other race address you in that way, but then you address each other that way.
Why do you think it's okay to address each other? Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but it's not. It should never be. So I never understood it. And let me give you an example, though.
Yes.
Coming from the other side.
Yes.
Quite a few years back, I was in a public setting in the library.
Yes.
Two young white kids, probably 10 to 12 years old.
Oh my God.
Couldn't be older. But they were in that neighborhood. I figured they grew up there.
Yes.
And they were just throwing the N-word around, speaking to each other, looking at videos and stuff, and nigga this, nigga that. I'm like, what is this?
Wow.
And maybe because they were young boys, a grown man and woman who were there in the library, some of them were black, didn't try to,
address the situation.
And I was just looking around like, wait, am I the only one hearing this and noticing this? But it just speaks to, I would say, where they're from, how they grew up, the family setting and the community setting that they're in. And so I guess it was okay.
Yes.
But it's not okay. It's not okay from anyone. It's not okay for us to use that word against each other or to each other, even jokingly or,
Wow.
And it's not okay coming from the other side either.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very interesting. Andrew, tell us, what would you say to any of our viewers that have experienced racism?
First off, know that you're not alone. No matter what race, what culture, what creed, wherever in the world you're from, you will experience racism at some point.
Some form, yes.
It's unfortunate. I sympathize with you. I myself have experienced racism. And I hope if I've been racist to anyone, I apologize. Because no one should experience racism. It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing. And but like I said, know that you're not alone. And don't be afraid to speak out on it.
Thank you.
Have a voice. It's a major issue. It's everywhere. And it needs to be addressed. And if you feel like you're offended to the point where you need to seek help and maybe get counseling to deal with it, do that too. There's a lot of time people face up with these issues and they develop anger and insecurity. And they walk around mad and upset, and it gets in the way of us maximizing our potential because we might say the wrong thing at a time when we're not supposed to, when you should be in control.
Drew, tell us, is it hard understanding a co-worker whose background differs from yours?
It can be sometimes. Yes, it can be a real challenge. But to understand someone, you have to feel like you're being understood.
Yes.
And how does that happen? You give someone the time to get to know you, to understand you, to read you, to really dive into your subculture.
Yes.
So where are you from? How did you wind up here? And what is it like in your part of the country, your part of the world? And how do you guys deal with a particular situation? Like, okay, so you made that comment. What do you really mean?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Why were you
Embracing.
so forceful?
Yes,
Why were you so meek? Why didn't you push back more in that situation? You know, and so on. So, yeah, it's a challenge. I
I
mean,
love it. Yes,
the beauty about being here in the US is you will encounter people from all walks of life.
yes,
You
diversity.
know, they say US is a melting pot. What does that mean? Like, well, people from here, there, and everywhere. You know, and so they're coming from where they're coming from, and they're bringing a part of them, part of their culture, part of the family culture, community and societal culture, country culture.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot just expect to come from where you're from and you meet John, Tom, or Harry, Paul
Yes, yes,
from Asia, Central America, South America, East Africa, wherever, and expect that, okay, you will understand all this. There's language barriers.
absolutely.
And even people who speak the same language, it's like, you know, you go to certain places in this country and it takes you a minute to understand exactly, what does this guy say? He looks like me, he's black like me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get it.
Completely
You know,
different. Yes.
so yeah, there are differences, and we have to acknowledge that first. We have to be willing to acknowledge that, accept it, and find a way forward, find a way to deal with it and understand it.
Embrace the differences.
Embrace it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It requires a bit more tolerance, a bit more patience. So yes, it can be
Absolutely.
difficult sometimes,
Thank you, Andrew.
but eventually we'll get there.
My friends, in my opinion, life is far too short to dislike someone just because their skin tone or hair texture may be a little different than yours. From dust we all came, and back to dust we shall all return. We must always live in love and harmony. Enjoy every day as if it's your last. Takeaway: we must remember that we are all unique individuals with different backgrounds and experiences, hence the increasing diversity in the workplace. This requires that we always respect and appreciate each other regardless of our differences. Wow, my subscribers! I am so happy that you remembered to bring your bikinis, Speedos, and suntan lotion today. This was indeed another hot and steamy episode right here on Real Talk with KC. We were able to dive deeper into diversity in the workplace from the eyes of our friend Andrew, a Guyanese living in the United States of America. Andrew, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us on this hot topic, diversity in the workplace. My good friends, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Real Talk with KC. You do not want to miss our next episode. It's about to get even hotter as we break down more barriers on diversity. I hope that there was something helpful or relatable in this video for you today. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you soon and good luck. Please.